All right, good morning. It is Thursday morning, 8 a.m., or actually 8:02. I am a little bit late here. I wanted to catch up with you guys with that. Let me see. Am I on live? Send me a chat if you can actually see me. I'm on my cell phone. I'm not sure if I'm actually live or if I'm come on or not, guys. So send me a message. I'm hanging out on my couch under the what is this? Walking Dead umbrella while trying to give you a little bit of education. This is hey Mark, hi Scott, hi Sharon, hey Leslie. So so if this is what telemedicine is like, if this is what telemedicine is like, being able to educate and take care of you guys while under a blanket and in my pajamas, telemedicine isn't so bad now, is it? Especially if, my patients can be home and in their PJs as well, and physicians are taking care of patients from anywhere else without having to be in house. I I through this COVID experience, I think we have pushed telemedicine way up to the forefront, faster than this timeline has been going. Telemedicine has been sneaking up on us slowly, but with COVID and everyone at home, all of a sudden, boom! Everyone is doing telemedicine because nobody wants to to get out of their home out of because of the shelter in place and all that. How many of you guys have already experienced telemedicine? I'm curious. How many of you guys have already spoken to a doctor to telemedicine? I want to hear your experience with that because I think it is now the future. I know many of our physicians. Hey, Jennifer. I know many of our physicians at Memorial Care is currently doing telemedicine now through Zoom calls and through different ways to connect with uh, with patients through a virtual chat. If you had the, I'm curious if you had the opportunity to chat with your physician online, just like you're chatting with me now, right? Except it's a video chat. If you had that opportunity to chat with your physician online, would you be interested in that? Or do you prefer to be sitting in front of your doctor in person? Uh, would you tell me on chat if that's an interest of yours? If you had an opportunity, let's say I was your doctor, let's say I was your doctor, and you needed to see me, and I say, hey, you know what? Why don't we go on a Zoom chat or a Facebook live chat and discuss your health concern? Uh, would that be an interest of yours, or would you personally want to hop in the car and drive up to see me in my office? What are your thoughts on that? Sherry, you said, yeah, telemedicine is probably easier. Looks like Sherry McCarter has had experience with telemedicine before, so that's pretty cool. I definitely feel telemedicine saves time. It it is efficient. It gets rid of inefficiency. I'm assuming, right? And that inefficiency is the inefficiency of having to take time off work. The inefficiency of having to get in your car and drive to your doctor, the inefficiency of being stuck on the freeway. Um, and I'm not saying that telemedicine is the right portal for every experience, because there are times when your doctor needs to listen to your lungs. There are times when your doctor needs to put a stethoscope on you. Obviously, you can't do telemedicine with a physical exam, right? I mean, if you're scheduling an annual physical exam, you need a physical. You need to see your doctor. But what if you're going over your lab test results, right? What if you're going over your lab test results, or you're discussing the you're discussing next steps on your CAT scan or your X-ray, right? There are many visits that that doesn't necessarily require your doctor to put a stethoscope on you, and those are the type of visits where possibly telemedicine may be a an appropriate role for. I know for a fact that there are a good number of patient visits that I've had in the office where I didn't need to specifically put a stethoscope on my patient, right? I didn't need to specifically put a stethoscope on my patient. Um, those those type of visits oftentimes could have been done through a Zoom call. I could have saved my patient time hopping on a car to physically come see me. Um, but then again, there are visits where I needed to put a stethoscope on my patient, and so telemedicine isn't going to replace medicine and the way, and a lot of visit encounters. Um, but telemedicine can take care of a lot of health issues without requiring our patients to drop by the office and saving time with that. And so those are some, I think telemedicine is the future, guys. And and I know we're doing it now. Uh, Kaiser's doing it, Memorial Care is doing it. Many of our docs are doing telemedicine with that. Good morning, Linda. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, David. Hey, Phoenix. Everyone's coming on now, huh? Um, but I think it's a good option, and I think it's an option for the future. But the future is here now, right? The future is here now. We're not waiting uh, with that. The How is everyone doing with COVID? How are you guys all doing with COVID right now? Uh, Put in the chat box what's going on with you with being sheltering in place. Are you guys exercising? I took a nice was it 3 miles? Yeah, I think we did 2 to 3 miles yesterday by the back bay of Newport. That was a really nice hike. Every day I'm trying to get out for at least 2 3 miles, because it's really important that we all get to see a little bit of sunshine and not be stuck at home. I think it's perfectly fine to go out as long as you are respecting the 6 feet, right, social distancing rule. Leslie says, my sister was tested for COVID yesterday after a big asthma flare, waiting to hear back. Yeah, keeping you guys in prayer, Leslie. And these COVID testing, guys. Last week we talked about COVID testing a little bit, and we talked about the fact that that there are different types of tests. There's the nasal swab that goes in, and it's a PCR swab where you get results within. Well, they have some faster results now, but usually within a day. Sometimes 2 3 days if you have to mail it out. That test for the actual virus itself. And then there's the finger test where you get a drop of blood and we check for serology. Serology is testing for antibodies. And and the two antibodies that we check is an IgM antibody, which checks for the more acute infection exposure. That antibody shows up after a few days of exposure from coronavirus 19. It doesn't tell you that you actively have the infection, but it does tell you that that you have the antibodies to the infection. Does that make sense? To tell you if you actually have the virus is a nasal swab, guys. To tell you if your immune system's been exposed to it is the blood test. That's the difference that you should know about that. The both types of testing has its own value. If you ever wanted to see if you've been exposed to it and you've been quote unquote immune to it, then we look at the IgG level, which is the antibody that is produced from prolonged exposure. And folks who are considered immune, right? We don't really know 100% if you're immune, but typically it shows up. The IgG level usually means immunity in other viruses, right? Saliva tests. Vicky asked about the Microgex saliva test. MD prescribed, can do at home. I love these home kits. I'm starting to see some home kits come out where you can test yourself at home. It is kind of like a pregnancy test that can be done at home, except it is a COVID test that can be done at home. It is something that's MD physician prescribed, I think. With that, it's but it's not like a pregnancy test where you pee on it. You need a drop of blood or a saliva test to look for exposure with that. I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about the different types of mask. Hey, Alex. And there are all types of masks running around now. There is the N95 mask, which everyone's heard about. There is the KN95 mask, which is essentially N95 mask that comes from like China. So they're labeled like KN95 mask. And then, hey, Melinda. And then there are surgical masks. When I talk about surgical masks, the word surgical mask lumps in a whole bunch of types of mask that you guys should know. Surgical mask, and not all surgical masks are the same. And I want you guys to know that just because the word surgical mask pops up, there are different types of surgical mask. Okay? The medical grade type surgical masks are the types that are at least 3-ply. 3-ply means 3 layers, right, in the mask. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you right now the differences in surgical mask and the differences of those types of masks with the homemade mask, the do-it-yourself mask at home. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, Anthony. Let me show you now. Let me take you to my home office to show you the different types of mask that are available. And I'll show you the difference, why it's so important to know your mask. Let me see here, because I actually have a whole bunch of masks here, guys, that I'm going to lay out for you right now. Let me see. I'm going to flip my phone around so you can see the different types of masks. So let me flip my phone around here. Give me 1 sec. Let me flip my phone. Okay, welcome to my home office and the mess that it is right now. Paper, bills, junk all over the place. So, guys, I'm going to show you the different types of masks. This is an N95 mask, and then we have different types of surgical mask. This is a surgical mask. This is called a surgical mask with questionable stuff. This is a homemade mask, right? This is a homemade mask with that. So an N95 mask means that it filters through 95% of particulates, bacteria, stuff like that, right? Jason says he needs a mask to protect himself from zombies. Jason, I do have a specific mask for you for zombies, and we may have one of our students deliver you is anti-zombie mask. Okay, so N95, surgical mask, and a mask that's made at home. Let me show you the difference here, because I tried this last night. This is a lighter. This is a lighter. Okay. Oh, Scratch, can you help me? This is a lighter, and I'm going to wear each mask, and I'm going to blow. Okay. I'm going to show you a test on the quality of mask now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear each mask, and I'm going to see if I can blow out the lighter with each mask right now. So let me get back to myself and give me 1 sec, because I got to put a mask on while you guys are watching me. Okay. N95. Just going to put on the top for now. This isn't the right way because this actually goes over as well, but just for purposes. And then Squash is going to turn on the lighter. Can you turn on the lighter? So here's this lighter, right? This is a lighter. And to tell how secure this mask is, right, we have to see if we can actually blow out. We have to see if we can blow out the lighter with it. Good mask, right? So that's an N95 mask. This isn't an official test, guys, but I'm going to show you the difference between that. This is a different surgical mask that this is one that I wear sometimes when I'm going to when I'm going shopping, right? Or actually, it's not. This isn't my shopping one, but this one a lot of folks wear. So if you can see, this is a different surgical mask. This is a 3-ply surgical mask. Because you can have a surgical mask that's only 1 ply. You can have surgical mask that's 2 plies, or you can have a surgical mask that's 3 plies. Okay, 3 pliers with a filter. So not all surgical masks are the same, guys. You need to know. If you get a surgical mask, the more plies they have, the more protection you have. Does that make sense? If you get a surgical mask that's 1 ply, it's 1 layer of protection. If you have surgical mask that's 2 ply, that's 2 layers of protection versus 3 ply. This is a 3 ply, okay? And we're going to turn on the lighter. So, all right. Good stuff, right? It's 3 ply. I can't blow through. I can't blow out the lighter. Let me show you this mask here. Where do we get this mask? This is a mask from the dollar store. Okay, this is a dollar store mask that that I have here that you should look at, because not all masks are the same. Right? Not all masks are the same. I blew that out pretty quick, didn't I? Right? Just because you have a covering doesn't mean it necessarily protects you. This is a do-it-yourself at home mask, and depending on who's doing it at home, right? They can do a 1-ply mask, 2-ply, or even, different plies. So not all do-it-yourself at-home masks are the same. So I'll show you this one as well.
This is without a filter.
Yeah, this is without a filter, right?
Yeah.
This is a do-it-yourself at-home mask that we have seen a lot. Do you see the difference, guys? Do you see the difference? Not all masks are the same, right? And this is a bandana. So I'm not even going to try that because I think you're going to know that the bandana isn't going to be that great with that. Now, I'll show you how, if you have one of these, I'll show you what you can do for additional protection. Or if you had, so a lot of these masks, guys, these do-it-yourself at home, have a little slip inside that you can put in a filter, okay? You can put a little filter in. So all you need, this is a piece of, tissue, right? Paper towel. If you put the filter into here, and if this is your filter, right, this paper towel, and let me make it a little bit smaller. If this paper towel went into here as a filter, right, this extra layer filter, just like this, just like that, right? Extra layer filter, just like that. You'll notice an extra difference. Go ahead, Scott. Do you see the difference a filter makes? Do you see the difference a filter makes? This is just paper towel. That's all it is, right? Alicia says JP is playing with a lighter now. Great. Awesome. So if you have a mask that has a filter, that's the difference a filter make, guys. That kind of extra protection. And a lot of these homemade masks have a little slip like this, where you can actually put in a little filter, and that's what it does, right? That's what it does. Yes, a coffee filter can be used, Sola. I've seen coffee filters been used. So again, N95, best protection, right? Next best protection is a 3-ply. 3-ply is next best protection. And then there is the 2-ply, and then there's the 1-ply, and they're all called mask, right? Not every mask is the same. They're all called mask. And then there's the do-it-yourself, right? Mask. So that's an interesting one. There's a do-it-yourself mask here.
Made by Sissy.
Right. This is made by Sissy, our friend in the longevity group. Very cool. And then she got these little slots here where I can put a filter in. So I totally appreciate it because it works well with that. And then, of course, you can have your bandana. Now, I'm not really trashing the other mask because having a mask is definitely better than not having a mask, right? Having a mask is better than having zero mask. So even if you had a 1-ply mask, it's better than having no mask, because even a 1-ply mask will catch droplets, right? So if I'm coughing or sneezing, it'll still catch the big droplets. It's still much better than having zero mask. Does that make sense to you guys? But not all masks are made equal. That's my point. You can have masks that are 3-ply, or you can have a mask that are 1-ply. And so it's something important to know when you're talking about mask with that. How much are the Iggy mask? So as you guys know, we have been really just donating our mask. Over the last week or so, I think our tongue out youth ambassadors have been going out, and I think we have dropped off close to 50 masks to 50 different home addresses. A lot of folks in Laguna Woods. We have at least another 10 to 15 requests today for masks. If you live in Orange County and you're shut in and you can't get out and you need a mask, just shoot me an email. I will have I'll check with one of our volunteers to drop by a mask for you guys that we have available. And as long as we have them available, we're just gonna donate them, guys. It's our ministry to do that. Michelle says, "Is coffee filter better than paper towel?" Good question. I don't know the answer to that. I haven't used a coffee filter yet, but I've heard that coffee filters are used in these masks, and I heard they're pretty effective with that. I wanted to ask you guys and get your opinion on this because someone had asked me the other day about doing a short, maybe 4 to 5 minute a day little health tidbit, right? A short 4 or 5 minutes a day health tidbit or health nugget for you guys on video. Is that something you guys are interested in? Like a 4 or 5 minute Facebook Live to teach you guys one thing a day that's super short on Facebook because that's something that's easy to do rather than a 1 hour lecture every Thursday. Although I think we'll continue to do those as well. Let me know what you guys think about that idea in the chat box. If you like the idea of a 5 minute, 3 minute to 5 minutes, something really short that you can learn one thing every day from a health perspective, because that's something that I can do super quick. Teach you guys something, just one thing to teach you every day. That's super short rather than having you watch something for an hour long. because I can certainly do that as things come to mind. If that's the case, we can probably consider doing that starting next week. In the morning, I'll come on for just 3 to 5 minutes and teach you guys something, like boom, 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 one thing to learn every day, and we can certainly do that. So I wanted to mainly teach you guys about the differences in mask today. Sherry is asking, can the woman who's making the filters do a video so we can see how she's making them? We'll continue the Thursdays. Alicia Zimmerman wants to know how to cut an avocado. Yes, we can teach that. Edna says she likes 3 to 5 minutes from a health perspective. Iggy Health Nuggets sounds good from Kim. Yes, something a little bit every day, so we can do that. Yes, I will put all my talks on YouTube. If you guys don't know what my YouTube channel is, take out a pen and write this down. Okay, I'll give you guys my YouTube link. Jason wants to know, how about 4 to 5 minutes lecture on surviving the zombie apocalypse? That may require a little bit more than 5 minutes on surviving the zombie apocalypse, but I think I can do that in maybe not 5 minutes. I can probably do that in about 10 minutes on survival of the zombie apocalypse with that. I'm going to put in the chat group here, guys, my YouTube channel. So let me put it on right now. Dung Trinh, MD. Okay, look in chat right now. Look in chat, and there's the link to my YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/C/my name, MD. So certainly go on there and subscribe so that I can put these little nuggets on there. So if you ever miss a day of my 5 minute talk, you can go to YouTube and it will be on there for you guys with that. just started a YouTube thing, blah blah blah. Like I don't know, a few weeks ago, and so I'll continue doing that. All my talks will be on YouTube. Sola says, "I see people without masks in public. Did you know there are cities now that are mandating public mask, and that there's a big fine without public masks? I think the county of Riverside, and if you live in Riverside, correct me if I'm wrong in chat or confirm for me that if you don't have if you're not wearing a mask in public, you may get a fine. If you live in Riverside and that's true, let us know. Did I hear something about the city of Costa Mesa making that law as well? I thought I heard something about it. I'm not sure, but if you're aware of that, put in chat box so that everyone else will know as well about the different cities who are now making this a mandate with that. Austin, Texas is doing fines right now for those who are not wearing a mask. So I sometimes wonder the difference between civil liberties, civil rights versus mandating things for public health. It's I know there are folks who don't want their rights taken away as far as wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, and then I know folks who are like, everyone should be wearing a mask and we should make it a law, right? So it's not the American way, is it? It's not the American way to mandate things, but at the same time, it's like, can we protect the people? Yvette, hello, with that. So anyway, so Michelle says LA County and San Bernardino County have mandated public mask. So does that mean you get a fine if you're not wearing a mask, Michelle, when you're walking around LA County or San Bernardino County? I'm not sure if it's something they're enforcing or if it's just a rule that's not being enforced. That I don't know. I do know that when I'm out shopping, I'm wearing a mask. I do know that a month ago, if you're in Costco and you're wearing a mask, everyone looks at you like real strange. Like, are you weird or are you sick? But today, if I walk in Costco and I'm not wearing a mask, everyone looks at me real strange as to like, why are you not wearing a mask, right? And so yeah, it's how fast 1 month can change all of us and the way we live now with that. Yesterday I had like 4 Zoom calls before 11 a.m. And I've never had 4 Zoom calls like in a year before, right? I've never had like 4 Zoom calls in a year, and I had 4 Zoom calls yesterday before 11 a.m. It was crazy how our life has changed. But I think at the same time, we probably are starting to learn stuff that we're like, wow, this isn't a bad thing at all. To be able to get things done through Zoom. I actually was part of a prayer group yesterday. Hey, Jennifer. I was part of a prayer group yesterday that was on Zoom. And it's quite interesting because, if you're part of a church and your church has like a prayer thing, sometimes oftentimes, traditionally you meet and you pray together in a group, but you go to church to meet to pray together, right? And now we have prayer group on Zoom. And it's like, wow, everyone's praying from home at the comfort of their couch, with their Walking Dead blanket on. And so it's like, it's not a bad thing. We're learning things now that because of coronavirus, we're learning to do things that we realize, this isn't so bad with that. But by the way, I do have a Walking Dead blanket. Do you guys want to see my Walking Dead blanket? Let me show you here my Walking Dead blanket. Let me turn this camera around. And there you go. This is the Walking Dead right here, as you can see, and it's bloodied. It's a bloodied Walking Dead blanket. It is my favorite blanket because it is the Walking Dead with that. So anyway, guys, just wanted to let you know I do have a Walking Dead zombie blanket. Anyway, this lecture is going downhill because I'm starting to talk about Walking Dead stuff
Should we thank Agnes Lee
and things of that sort.
Sissy Cohen?
I do want to. So these masks, guys, are homemade from Agnes Lee and Sissy Cohen, who are making these masks. I think they're in the East Coast. These are super cool. I wanted to thank them for making several hundred masks. So Crystal says, if I didn't know better, I think it was Red Dead Redemption blanket. Red Dead Redemption blanket. Okay. But before this goes down further downhill with The Walking Dead, we should end this. By the way, these masks are made for free.
Donation. At least when we got it. I don't know if they changed it.
These masks are made for free, and
Pay for shipping.
yeah, as long as you pay for shipping and stuff like that. I don't know, Agnes, if you have a link or something about that. But anyway, if you do need a mask, contact me. If you're in Orange County, we can probably get it to you. Other than that, Etna says, how does one order Sissy mask?
We'll post the link and we'll see. I don't know if she's still doing. I know she's on hold. She had a lot of orders.
Okay, Jenny says here, you guys can hear Jenny. They can hear you.
Yeah. She has a lot of orders, so I think she's on hold. We'll post it in the link, and then you can ask her if they're still making masks. But they've gotten a lot of orders in, I believe they're in Massachusetts.
I think they're in Massachusetts or something like that.
Boston, Michigan.
So yes, it's nice to give them a donation
Yes.
with that. And you can find Sissy on my Longevity Institute group. I think they're on hold right now. She's not taking more orders. Okay, thanks, Sherry, because she is ordering. Yeah, she's ordering, or she's behind, or not she's behind. She's got a whole bunch of orders, basically, with that. So anyway, I hope you learned something today about masks, guys. And I will probably do these 3 to 5 minute once a day healthcare nugget in the morning for you guys to learn something every day. We'll continue the Thursday morning, because Thursday morning we can teach you something that is a little bit longer than 3 to 5 minutes, but we can give you a little bit of nugget every morning on health, kind of like a little health nugget, things of that sort. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to check out. And again, every talk that we do on Facebook Live, we will put it on YouTube, okay? And I put my link already on YouTube. You can scroll back. It's just youtube.com /C/Dung Trinh MD. Take care, guys. God bless, and have a great Thursday. See you later.